Alright, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, and fishes of all ages, we are playing some Merfolk in Legacy tonight. Alright, let me just get my link posted and we will go. Alright. I think we're good. Everything seems like it's fine. Excellent. Stream health is good. Alright, we're actually doing okay for a change. Alright, yeah. Merfolk in Legacy. Alright, so let's take a look at what we've got. I tweaked the list slightly again this week to try this. I decided that I wanted to try playing with both Cursecatcher and Tide Shapers. Let's increase the number of 1-drops in the deck. I want something to supplement my Force of Will, and Cursecatcher is usually pretty good at working with Force and Chalice because it helps your stuff resolve. And I mean, it also does slow down some of the more clunky stuff. So makes your opponent have to have that extra mana for stuff like Days Undoing and their expressive iterations and all kinds of crap. So it's nice. Means when your opponent taps out, you have Cursecatcher to help force out stuff like Chalice. So that's good. And it also attacks. That's important. It's difficult for our deck to play stuff like Days. We don't have as great of access to basic islands as we want. We have some, but you're not guaranteed to actually see it in a basic island every game because we're not using the cantrips to actually find them. Otherwise, yeah, Cursecatcher being able to actually attack and get bigger from the lords is nice too. So we can always side it out when we need to. In order to make the space for it, though, I had to sideboard the Brazen Borrowers, and so we are not going to get to test the explosives today, but that's fine. I want to keep stuff like Brazen Borrower in the sideboard just because it's good against decks like Taxes. I think that's going to matter. I mean, Borrower is fine against the... It's not unreasonable against the fair decks, but it also helps us against stuff like Ensnaring Bridge decks, so... It's okay. Otherwise, yeah, this is mostly the same shell. We're going to continue playing with the hearses in the main deck, because these seemed like they were actually pretty good. Otherwise, we're not really going to change a whole lot. I'm on 3 Chalice in the main. I think this is a good number, because they're not actually that great against every deck. Sometimes you're going to be up against a deck like Taxes, where you don't really want Chalice, so... I think in the blind, just 3 is fine. And then if they're good, we'll bring in the 4th. If not, we'll dump the 3 in the main deck first. Most of the time, it's stuff like Dismember or Brazen Borrower, so that's alright. But yeah, we have, I think this shell looks like it works pretty well. We'll continue to supplement the hearses with Grafdigger's Cage. And the Cursecatcher also helps us a little bit more against the Reanimator decks too, because when you can go turn 1 Cursecatcher pass in the blind, turns off lines for them Dark Ritual, do a bunch of dumb nonsense. So that's good. And then, when it turns off that, then you can have the ability to play turn 2 Chalice in 1 or turn 2 Unlicensed Hearse, and suddenly those decks find themselves unable to actually win the game anymore just because this delayed them by a turn. Pretty nice. So, there we go. We don't really need to spend a whole lot of time in this. We've talked about this a fair bit. Where's my Twitch chat? Okay, it is here. Excellent. Oh, you know what? I am going to promote this too. Just because I can. The Final Fantasy IV 4-job Fiesta is... Right now, they're really close to raising their $10,000 goal for Planned Parenthood, so that would be really awesome if you could donate to them. So the link is there. I just played through an entire playthrough not too long ago for this of Final Fantasy V, and in my off time now, I'm also working on a quad Zerker run of this, which is absolutely just ridiculous and its own entire brand of nonsense. So there's that. But all right, now let's go and let's go play some fucking Legacy. That's what we're here for, right? All right. Let's go. Wow, that was quick. Okay. J on the play. Well, they are on the play this time. Jeez. They mulled a 6. Whatever, I'll keep this. These cards are usually really good, and we have Cavern for this, so... If they're mulliganing, then that usually makes Force a little better. Monster, hello. They're mulliganing to 5, so I'm hoping that this means that, like, Force of Will is just really good. Ancient Tomb. Okay. Sure. Well, hopefully this one Force will actually do something relevant. This might be 8 cast. Grindstone. Okay, so this is like Painter. Alright, well, we definitely have to force this. So we actually could have died from that. Well, that's not ideal. We really want less lands here. Alright. So there's the Painter Servant. So if they find another Grindstone, we're in trouble. Chalice would not be terrible. I don't think it particularly matters. But at least we can hold up Otawara then. So if they ever do like go for it, then maybe we can in response survive a turn. Free from your bondage, huh? Okay. 8 daggers. My god. You don't need 8 daggers for that game. Armchair General has also been playing Final Fantasy V. He's on a thief start, so he needed to go and get some daggers. Oh, well, that's good. Okay, well, I don't think they're blocking this, but I need to, like, put a clock in them, so... I'm just hoping they don't find it this turn. I put the shields down for 1 turn, so let's pray. City of Traders. I had to have just drawn that, right? Okay, well, I don't think that's going to do it for them, actually. So they're just putting it in the graveyard, so... Oh, they have Ensnaring Bridge? Well, we still have Otawara, so that's fine. Well, I think we can attack with everything pretty safely here. We'll just use the Otawara to bounce the bridge and we just win. They didn't even have another source of red mana to activate this thing because they threw away the Lotus Petal, so even better. We put the shields down, but it's alright, we got there anyway. So the unlicensed Tarse actually should help us here against the engineers. No, Trickster will not turn off Painter. It's sort of the same situation with Dryad of the Elysian Grove. The type changing layer happens before Trickster removes the ability, so that would not save us. Do not fall into that trap. Been waiting to play Breath of Fire 3 recently. Yeah, I've never played any of the Breath of Fire games, and I'm sure that a bunch of my friends are mad at me for it. Alright, we want I think we want Chalice, and we want Null Rod. I think Chalice and 1 is important. Cursecatcher is not important here. They are an Urza Saga deck, so Tideshaper helps. Recall is important, and I think we want Borrower too, right? They have lots of stuff. They have like bridges and stuff we need to bounce. Honestly, like, what do we cut here? Like, cutting the Tideshaper is not unreasonable either, I guess. Like I don't know, maybe. Dismember is also, like, we have a lot of really good tools here, so like dismembering the Painter in response to the activation does work. It also does kill the Engineer, which is fair, so alright, we gotta be careful too, because these Null Rods are gonna turn off Aether Vial. Oh my god, I have to cut 3 more cards. Oh, you know what? We have to also be careful, because Null Rod will turn off the hearse, but I think it's worth it, so you just have to be careful not to, like, overdo it, I guess. Gil might have trouble swinging through stuff, so we'll cut one of those. But I think we should have a good game. Jarzira. Nice. Hi. Oh, this looks fine. We have everything we want here. Okay, that's good. Play Merfolk, player Aether Vial. I think next turn we're just gonna jam Chalice in 1. Yeah, the only thing that sucks is we don't really have a good answer to Urza Saga. Goblin Welder. Oh God. This is not great. So I'm just thinking about lines here. I could play the Chalice in 1 next turn and hopefully then be able to petty theft this thing. I don't really want to force it yet. I'm hoping that that's fine. Then it locks. I have to petty theft this thing. All right. But they can't pyroblast it, so, or the bounce for this at least. I won't be able to replay it, so... Okay, it seems like that worked. Sure, if they make a construct, that's fine. Okay, well they can find their grindstone, which is not great. It means I have to hold up this Force of Will for Painter at any given point. Just hope they don't have two of them. Uh, I don't feel the need to block this. Yes. If they had another Painter, I think they would have played it. That's the hope anyway. Otawara is still at least 2 turns away from being used. Oh shit. Alright, well let's hope they don't have a land. Fuck. Alright. If they have a land, we're dead. Yeah, they just activate Grindstone here. We die. There wasn't really much we could do about it, unfortunately. So Tideshaper killing the Urza Saga definitely would have helped, but we don't have room for everything. I mean, we also had, like, Wastelands to get rid of Saga, and we didn't find that either, so... yeah, I'm gonna keep this. Null Rod is pretty good here. Yeah, Saga is incredibly good in the deck, for sure. Okay. Well, they're really, threatening us now. We need to play this first, I think. Then we'll play Chalice in 1. So they can't activate either of these things. No Lotus Petal, no Grindstone. We'll play Chalice in 1, hopefully to turn off more nonsense. Then they won't be able to Pyroblast any of our stuff. Okay, sure, you play Pithing Needle. I don't care. What are you gonna name? Fucking Aether Vial? It's not gonna do shit. Should name Wasteland. They named Aether Vial. And they played Great Furnace. That does not look very good for them. Alright, good luck playing 1-drops. They have Ancient Tomb. Alright. Can you actually, like, do anything, though? Goblin Engineer. Okay. So we probably just dismember this thing. Ideally, we draw a land so we can play Dismember plus a creature. No, this is exactly why you need to have Null Rods in your sideboard. It's like this in the 8-whack, or I'm sorry, the 8-cast deck. Well, that was great. Okay. Yeah, no, we're not doing this. Let's hope they don't have another one of those, because that will make it difficult. Okay, well, there's the Painter's Servant. Well, so we are living in the danger zone now. If anything happens to our Null Rod, we die. That is really good, actually, because we can blow up the Ancient Tomb and put them back on 1 mana. I'm hoping that they just aren't able to do anything with just basic Mountain. I think this turn we play Lord of Atlantis and attack. Hopefully they're just dead. Alright, opponent. What did you draw? How good was your draw this turn? Game. Alright, we win. They have nothing. Because their best case scenario is like they can block a Lord and take 8 and they still die, so... There we go. See, look. This is why Null Rod is really, really important. This is why Chalice is important, and also why Wasteland is important. Because we removed a lot of options by blowing up this Ancient Tomb, so that was important for sure. I mean, Wasteland also blows up like Urza's Saga right away, so we can kill that like a lot of times before they can actually do anything with it. So you know, we have a ton of really good tools versus that deck, but it never feels like you're completely safe versus them. You're always living on that edge. It's entirely possible that maybe the 4th Chalice should just be another Null Rod, because especially if those decks are going up in like popularity, yeah, the more artifact nonsense there, the better that Null Rod actually is. So the only thing is it has a little anti-synergy with our unlicensed Hearse. But I think most of the time Null Rod is so good that you don't actually mind like Hearse not being online. Hearse helps more versus like the fair stuff, like Goblin Engineer there, and also Emery, and what's the other one? Tameshi. So you can slow them down a little bit with stuff like Hearse, and it helps in the main. But I think definitely once you play Null Rod, like it gets very difficult for those decks to do stuff. Oh no, Null Rod does a lot against 8 cast. It turns off all of their like mana rocks, so they can't actually like do anything. So they can't tap them for mana, and then like That definitely can prevent them from casting spells, which is nice. Doesn't stop them from using them for Convoke, but that's why you need a combination of stuff to hate against them. I'm on the play, so let's go. This hand looks like it's okay. I don't really want to have to use my force, but I will if I must. Otherwise, we're probably aiming to put this Chalice in one next turn. Okay. So Bloodstained Mire, so what could this be? Oh, Silvergill is a good draw here. Now I have something better to pitch to force. Let's see. You got lucky against 8 casts last game. Wasteland pretty much won. Fair. Do I want to run out Cavern or Wasteland here? I think I play the Wasteland so they don't technically know what we're doing yet. This doesn't necessarily mean we're on Merfolk. Underground Sea. Alright. What are we doing with this? Brainstorm. Alright, sure. So this could be Doomsday. Which makes Brainstorm, or I mean Chalice pretty good, and Force protecting us is nice. How are you not following? Oh no. It's okay. You can rectify that now. You can click the follow button and I'll forgive you. It's okay. There is no sin too great that you can't make up for it here. Defense Grid. I think I have to counter that. I need my future forces to matter. Okay. That's good. Alright, so we're definitely going to play this. So, if they play Defense Grid... Okay. What mana is more important here? I want to say I need to go after the black mana. Alright, and just hope that a Chalice is fine. It's okay. It's fine. You're here now. That's what matters. Main deck... I mean, I guess this could be Storm, so that's definitely possible. And if it is, then like going after Underground Sea is the correct thing to do, I think, because it turns off Wishclaw Talisman. But I think because of that, I am also going to play this on 0. Because this could actually just be Storm with Defense Grid here. Alright, they give up. This definitely has to be Storm, right? Okay. So I think I want Force of Negation. Probably want Chalice. Null Rod definitely can be good here, but I don't want to overboard for this match. The other question is, do I want Brazen Borrower? Like, this card isn't terrible because it can bounce, like, the Defense Grid if it ever hits play. I feel like the Hearse is probably not necessary. We definitely want to keep Cursecatcher. If I draw Chalice, I think I'm slamming it on 0 if I have the opportunity. Because that will turn off the LEDs and stuff, which I think matters. But I will probably want Chalice. You know what? True-Name is typically not that necessary in these matches, so maybe we can bring in Brazen here. I think this is okay. There's some times where stuff like Dismember matters because of like Xanthid Swarm. Guess we also might have to worry about like Veil of Summer, so one could matter here. You know what? I think I'm gonna bring in the Null Rods just to be safe. This hand's not bad. I think I'll keep this. Okay. And there's a very good chance I just play Chalice and 0. Taiga. Okay. Carpet of Flowers. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of that. Alright, that's fine. So I do have to consider here. We're definitely going to play Cursecatcher. The question is, do we go for Chalice in 1 or 2? Or I mean, 0 or 1. Well, they might have stuff like Veil of Summer, so I probably need to worry about it on 1. And the Cursecatcher will slow them down a little bit. No extra mana for them this turn. Okay, I guess they're just all in and carpet for their mana here. I really don't like having to play the island here because it gives them an extra 2 mana. But I think playing the Chalice matters too much. No. Let's not do that. Not let them fix their hand now that they know about Chalice. Let's just hope that they're stuck with a bunch of mana they can't use. And we need to counter like Burning Wish. We have to hold up Force of Will for like Burning Wish and hope that's enough. Because if they have like Defense Grid, like there's not much we can do about it. Yeah, we will not be doing that, please. Okay, well they have 2 cards left, so well, they already have like what 5 mana here, so I don't think it really matters how much I give them. At this point, Otawara probably matters more. Or even just getting to 5 mana for Force of Will. Because there's a very good chance they just don't have anything they can do with all this mana. That's the hope here, so Could hold this. We're on 6 here. Let's attack first. The question is, do I give them 2 more mana? Is it 2, 4, 6? Oh god, it's so much. Like, they basically have unlimited mana here. I think this has more utility as an actual card in my hand, so... Alright. That's good. That will speed up our clock a little bit. We'll attack for 6, and then hopefully if we can draw another Lord, that will be nice. We just have to hope that they can't do anything still. Yeah, this is good. If I draw another land, I can also Otawara and bounce one of these carpets. Well, that is very helpful. Well, they have 1 turn to do something or they lose. Alright, good luck, opponent. They had nothing. Alright, excellent. We get there. So yeah, that we definitely were up against Storm. Turns out having all the mana in the world doesn't really help you and there's nothing you can cast. I think that hitting that brainstorm, I don't know, it could have mattered a lot. Because we didn't necessarily know if they were going to find, like, a fetch land and then fix their hand fast enough to outrace us, but it turns out, it looks like the top 3 cards of their deck just weren't very good in the begin with, so we probably would have been fine, but I still think it was the correct thing to counter the brainstorm just because it made their hand super bad, and they were stuck with it, with like, no hope of fixing it anytime soon, so... So yeah, they do play like Veil of Summer, so if you want your forces to actually connect, then you have to be prepared with Chalice in 1. But really, Chalice on 0 is also important because you want to be able to stop stuff like LED and Mox Opal and Lotus Petal. It's just, if you don't have the Chalice in 1, they'll just play Veil of Summer first and then play all their Moxes, and then it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm screwed, but mana wasn't their problem. They just had a bunch of 1-drops they couldn't use. Alright, we're in the play. Excellent. This hand is not terribly good. Well, we have 2 Wastelands, but there is no guarantee that they're actually going to do anything, and this 1 Trickster is probably not enough. This is much better. I think we just put Wasteland on the bottom. So that way, even if something bad happens to Aether Vial, we can still play all of our creatures. Okay, we are up against 8 cast. So this Cursecatcher is definitely going to help, maybe. We have to dump our hand quickly. So if they just try to go for like Days Undoing here, Cursecatcher might be enough to slow them down. Karn the Great Creator, that's not great. Well, it's not great for us. They're going to get like Ensnaring Bridge here, probably. We can kill Karn, but I don't know, like... It's going to be difficult to actually turn this around, depending on what they get here. The bridge, like, we don't really have a way to stop it. They did take Ensnaring Bridge, so... We have the Otawara. I think I just have to play Lord. Attack Karn, attack them. So I play Well, I could play True-Name right now, but it's unlikely this True-Name is ever going to actually get to attack. The other option is just not playing, like, if I don't play a land, then maybe at some point, now if I kill Karn, I can file this in maybe next turn, but I need more lands for this, I think, so. Alright, you kill Karn, you go after their face. We'll hope that bridge is too slow to matter. No, I don't think I play Otawara either. This game's gonna take some time. Okay, they have 5 cards. If I draw like a Lord, they could die. That's not bad. Let's see. If I attack them for 6, they can still use these. I think if I attack them for 9, they can't actually use the Ancient Tombs to cast any spells. I think that's the way to go. Yeah, now the Ancient Tombs are offline, so they only have Lotus Petal, and they have to unload their hand here. Yeah, so I agree. Yeah, it's exactly correct, Lord. They got Chrome Mox. That helps them a little bit, but they have to get down to like 3 cards left. There's land, Ledger Shredder. No, but they have to get down to 2 cards, right? So they can only block one of these dummies. I don't think this is enough. They have to find like another Chrome Mox here. Okay, do you have a 0 drop? Oh, okay. Okay, they realized they were SOL. We just managed to get there. All right. I think Curse is a little bit too slow. I think we want Chalice. We want Null Rods. We want Borrower. Actually, True-Name is not awful here, but we have a lot of important cards. Hurkyl's Recall matters. Okay, so don't think Cursecatcher matters. I do want to keep Tideshaper just because of the sagas. This True-Name is okay, but I think the problem here is it's a little bit, how do I put this? You know, I don't think, there's a good chance we might not get to the 3 mana for that, so. I got 1 Aether Vial because of the Null Rods, I guess. I need to keep the Tideshapers. Under the bridge. Yeah. I think this looks okay. Alright, we'll run with this. This hand looks good. Keep this. Probably stick Chalice on 0. Maybe Wasteland this Ancient Tomb. Oh, they're just going all in. They're just gonna do this right now. Narset, okay. They have Days Undoing. Well, here's the problem for them. They are not gonna have... yeah, alright. Let's play this for 0. They're not gonna have mana for this. Hopefully. Okay, they are gonna have mana for this. So I need a Force. They are not gonna have mana for this. I mean, I guess I can just keep blowing up their lands. Fuck me. What? They could just use the Chrome Mox here, can't they? Alright. Sure, they just fucking drew a bajillion lands, which is unfortunate. This game is basically over. I mean, look, in a lot of scenarios that would have just locked them out of the game, but they just kept getting the mana sources. So, all right, I think Karn is enough. We've seen enough here. They had enough tools for this. Okay. Well, we get to be on the play for game 3, so this is actually not bad. So we get to play Chalice on 0. That's pretty good. Well, they're going to have a difficult time getting through this now. Okay, well, there's Urza's Saga, so I am very happy to just blow that up. Hull Breacher, not gonna let them get through this that easily. Hull Breacher has indeed turned against us. How could you do this to our own kind? Okay, well, Shredder, I guess, is not the worst. So they're just trying to connive now. Alright. Well, Tide Shaper still has Island Walk. If we find another Lord, we have more Island Walk, and we just win. I guess a Trickster is now also lethal, or even a Brazen Borrower. Interesting. Yeah. That works. I can't redeploy it because I don't have Cavern. You know, yeah, that makes sense. They couldn't bounce the Lord that way because I could just re-vial it in. Okay. So we need another Island Walker. Or a Cavern wouldn't be the worst either. They're just trying to clear their hand, I guess, for, like if they find Ensnaring Bridge at some point. Well, that's helpful. Hold on a second. What is there any reason that I might want to have mana up here? If I draw Force of Negation, no, I still could pitch the Tide Shaper. I'm just thinking about whether I should Vial in Silvergill or cast it. I guess if I draw Cavern of Souls, then I'd actually want to cast, or to, yeah, Vial it, so. That doesn't help. Alright, 2 turns. Is it fast enough? Echo, they can flash it back if they want. I don't know if it's necessarily a good idea for them to do that, though. So they refill our hands as well. Okay, they're at 1. Can you deal with my Island Walker? I'm going to say that that's probably a desperation no. Oh, and they gave us 2 forces. There's no fucking way they're coming back from this now. Okay, your Urza Saga is fine. They had to do something because they were just dead on the board, so they're taking their shot, but it was not very kind to them because now we have double counter spells. The game's over. Alright, there we go. We got there. Again, why we need all the hate pieces, because those artifact decks are fucking brutal. Like, I think Chalice on 0 is better versus this deck than the Null Rod because it's faster and it hurts them a little bit more. But I think you still want some combination of both of them. Just in case, like, if for some reason they do manage to get out like Moxes or something, or yeah, then turning them off is nice. Hurkyl's Recall is also very, very good too, for much the same reason, but it also is an emergency answer to stuff like Ensnaring Bridge, so. But, yeah, this is why we have so much hate in our sideboard for this stuff, because these decks are brutal, and you need a huge density of it if you want to get through them. Yeah, this is like the Echo version of the deck. The 8-cast version is a way different story. Like, Blastoise is really difficult to get through. That's Kappa Cannoneer. It's like True-Name Nemesis on steroids. Yeah, you're absolutely correct to be afraid of that because, yeah, that it gets very difficult very quickly. And they have artifact engines with Sai and Tameshi. They can keep recurring. Urza Saga from the graveyard. It is brutal. Again, another reason you need a lot of hate cards. If you don't have the hate, you're not going to be able to get through them. It's one of the reasons, like, I think Wasteland is hugely important because it crushes these decks. If you can just keep them off of their mana with stuff like Wasteland and Chalice, and even Null Rod, like, well, absolutely just cripple them, and then you can kill them with, like, a 2/2. So, they will usually be kind enough to give you Island Walk, so there is that. And they don't generally have the option to try to hold back islands because if they play anything that's not an island, you just Wasteland it, and then they don't have any mana. I think that's I want to say that it's a favorable matchup for this particular build of Merfolk. So we have a lot of good cards against them. I have lost this match before, but I've won it way more times than I've lost it at this point. So. This is a very good start to this league. It means no matter what happens in the last 2 matches, we get our money back. So, where is Contra? Come on, we're 3-0 right now. I need Contra and the here for the 5-0 boost. You were laughing a lot. Yeah, sometimes 3 Wasteland is not enough. Like, that was a pretty insane draw for them, to be honest. Like, most of the time, if I double Wasteland that deck, they're just dead. The fact that they not only, like, were in the game, they survived and won after 3 Wastelands was ridiculous. So, yeah. Both this Echo version and the 8-cast version share a lot of the same cards in them. They have a lot of like this. They have similar strategy where they're just gonna dump a bunch of like 0 mana artifacts with Ancient Tomb mana and stuff. But what they actually use the mana for changes. Like the 8-cast deck is looking to play a lot of like artifact creatures, and this deck is looking to play a lot of like Days Undoing type spells. But the basic strategy against both of them is mostly the same, as ridiculous as that sounds. You just need to disrupt their fast mana and then just kill them. So. Oh my god. 4 minutes? What's going on? Surely you can find me a worthy opponent. Yeah, no, that's the thing, like Moxes plus soul lands can enable a lot of degenerate nonsense. You know what? Like that's not even like the only version of like these kind of decks. Like there was also like the Bomberman version, which is just a mono colorless one, and there's also the Mystic Forge combo version, which does like the exact same thing. You just play like Ancient Tombs and like Moxes, and then just play stupid combo with artifacts. So there is a ton of these sort of decks out there. All right, we are on the draw. Took us almost 5 minutes to get a match. It's not a bad hand. We have to keep this, I think. They're keeping 7. I mean, we get to play all of our fish here, and we have some interaction, so we're not dead to, like, combo. I think that we just run out a Tide Shaper. They're gonna know what we're on anyway, so I guess that's fine. Like, I could play Island here, and I don't know. There is definitely an argument for Island first. But this is not a fair deck, so I don't know how much this is gonna matter. This is Sneak and Show. Okay. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Yeah, that's happening, I guess. I mean, there was some argument to force this thing and then try to cut them off mana-wise. This is tough because I don't know what the other 5 cards, like, if they have more lands, then, like, spending this turn wastelanding them is not really going to be helpful. They're going to cycle cards with this thing. I mean, I could just play Master of the Pearl Trident and attack them. Like, it's totally reasonable. Or even, like, Merfolk Trickster and tap this thing down. Because it's going to make a treasure token, but I think I need to save Trickster. I mean, Silvergill is also fine. I don't think they want to block here, actually. So I think I'm going to play Silvergill. I don't think that they're going to block my Tide Shaper, because they want the treasure tokens off the stupid goblin token. That is exactly what I thought was going to happen here. Alright, okay. So, if I Wasteland this, and play a land, they'll be up to 3 mana. If they have Force, then we're sunk. It's not great. I think I need to put pressure in play. The biggest problem is, like, I guess if they have Force, no matter what, we're kind of in deep shit. So I think we need to play the Silvergill Adept. And then next turn try to hope that either Merfolk Trickster or Master of the Pearl Trident can save us. But I need to draw like another Force here. That's not really the card for this match. You know about that. So they will have the treasure token from the shaman. They just discard 2 lands, so yeah. Wastelanding them wasn't really going to be that effective there. We do have to be concerned about stuff like Flusterstorm, which, again, I can't really beat it if they have it, so... Sure, make your stupid treasure token. I can't really deal with it. Show and tell. Alright, like, part of me kind of wants this to resolve, but, like, we're close to just killing them. I guess the only problem is, like, if I force this and they have a force, like, I'm actually in a lot of trouble. I really want the Island Walk, but if they put in something like Emrakul, I have to have Trickster to stop it, or I'm just dead. Okay, they're gonna daze. Okay, I guess. I think I put the hearse in here. They go with Gristlebrand. That's not good. Okay, well, they're just like, there's no way they're just gonna draw 7 cards and, like, we're sunk to whatever that is. So, all right. I need them to go to 5, and then I have to gain 7 life with this so I can Trickster it, and then they're just dead. That is my only hope right now. I don't know how much good that's going to do, though, because they have 2 creatures still. They're in combat right now. I guess let's just see what they attack with. Maybe they'll attack with the Shaman token again. Okay. That's sort of a benefit. I do not play Doomsday, but, okay, they are going to draw the 7 cards now, so... I need them not to gain 7 life here. I mostly play Merfolk and Legacy. Sometimes I'll play a few other random decks, but... So I guess the other option here is I can actually turn the hearse into a creature and then block something. If I draw a Trickster, I can get past this. Actually, right now I have lethal, right? Because they have to play another creature or they're dead. So I mean, I guess this doesn't particularly matter, but... We'll turn this into a 4/4. So they have to play something or they die. Okay, they can sneak attacks. I guess a Lord wins, or a Trickster. We're not dead yet. They can activate this once to sneak attack in something. All right, so we have draws. We need them not to have like Gristlebrand. Okay, I think we win here. Okay, right. So we just animate the hearse. They have to block this here, and then they sneak attack in a creature, and then I just Trickster it, and then they're dead. Okay. This is what we're doing. Okay, this is what they needed to do to live, and I think we're going to actually find our way out of this. This was the line. Okay. Simian Spirit Guide. Oh no, they're going to gain 3 life. Does that mean they have another one? Oh, this is a fucking non-legendary thing, isn't it? Well, it's gonna block, so I have to... I mean, I have to sacrifice the Tide Shaper here, right? Hope they don't have another creature. No, but I don't think it matters because they have the reflection. Like, that's still going to be too much. They gain the life here. They're up to 6 here. They just block this. Fuck. Alright, like, Archon was the one we couldn't beat. They found Archon. And then they're just going to attack us next turn and we're dead. Alright. Please make the mistake of blocking something else. Why would you do that? What? You clicked the right block. What the fuck? Opponent, you just had to block this thing and you win. This is why we didn't concede. We gave them the chance to fuck up and they did, so sure. I have no explanation, all right? I really don't. I don't know what to tell you guys. There is no excuse for that to happen. Okay, sure, I guess. I don't think Hearse is for this match, and like True-Name probably isn't either. So, I mean, Chalice, yeah, I guess we can bring in Chalice. I don't know what, I have no idea what they were maybe they just didn't realize they were at 6, so, but that was a complete blunder. They had the game. They just had to make the block they were about to click on. I think Borrower has to be better than True-Name here, right? This looks correct. Now they do have like Pyroclasm, which is definitely annoying. Gonna pay. We do have to watch out for that, but I think this is fine. We really do have to 5-0 after that. That was just a ridiculous punt. We deserve it now. This hand is... it's not the best, but I am going to keep it. Sure, Ponder. We're going to go Vial and then Aether, or Chalice, and hope that that's enough. Well, that's... another Force is not unwelcome. Oh, opponent, please counter my Force. I would be okay with that. Okay. Brainstorm, sure. Thing is, Chalice in 1 does not, like, win the game by any means, so don't rely on this to just have it locked up, because all it does, it turns off the cantrip so they can't dig for stuff, but you still have to, like, get through all of, like, their regular nonsense. They could still definitely, like, spell pierce this thing. But they also have stuff like Flusterstorm, and it doesn't actually stop the combo pieces. If they do have, like, a Pyroblast, though, then the Chalice is a good play around that. They might just, like, spell pierce this. No, they don't. Okay, well. Expressive Iteration, I guess. I can't really afford to force that. Okay, you have a mountain. I would love to tick Vial up here. That's good. We can put in surprise creatures at the end of their turn. But I really need to hold, like, some stuff for sneak attack. You have to head out? Alright, well, I appreciate your good luck. And thank you for the clip. Okay, so now we have to decide what do we want to put into play here. 'Cause stuff like Pyroclasm is definitely possible. I think we do just need to clock them, though. I can't keep giving them turns. They didn't go for it this turn, which makes me think maybe they don't have anything. That's not bad. If nothing else, I can flash that in as a creature. Or pitch it to Force. City of Traders. You have a bajillion mana. What would you like to do with it? Sneak attack. They have their own Force. I mean, that's unfortunate, but there's nothing we can really do about it. Okay. I'm going to wait for it to attack first. Oh, that's bad. I don't think this really matters a whole lot. I think we're just dead. They can still just use sneak attack to put Gristlebrand back in play. They're at 10, so like I can't really punish them for this. We take it up just for fun. Now we just have to run this back. Archon is actually in like... Yeah, it's really dangerous to us. It's unlike Emrakul, like, Trickster cannot stop it from getting rid of our creatures. Whereas if they just put in Emrakul and you just Trickster it, that doesn't actually do anything. Archon definitely does do things. We get to be on the play for the last one, so, like, I don't know, our hand wasn't, like, amazing. Hopefully this hand will be much better. We have Aether Vial and... Oh, you know what? I'm going to keep it. I do have Force of Will. I don't think I would keep this hand without Force. Alright, well, we can play around, like, days. They're really afraid of this Wasteland, it looks like. They should be afraid. Honestly, I think I'd be okay with just drawing more forces right now. But we might have, what, 2 lords here, so I attack for 3, they go to 16. Then next turn, I'm adding an extra 3 damage, right? So 16, then it'll be 8. So 16, 8, and 8. Or, yeah, so theoretically that would be enough. Not bad. I can actually play the Tide Shaper here. Puts more permanents on the board if I need them. Okay. It looks like they're going to go for something here. I really want them to, like, show and tell, because then the Trickster will just end them. Fury! Well, they can kill 3 creatures with this. That's terrible. Yeah, that's rough. Okay, well, we need this Island Walker now. And I think I'm going to double Wasteland them and hope that they just don't have anything else. This puts them at 10, so they have basic island. They used their force, so that's a plus. We're not out of this yet, but we're getting there. Come on, blue card. Okay, that's a... Oh, that is a really good one. They're at 10. So I attack here for 3, puts them to 7, and then either one of these kills them. And it does keep them at 7, so Gristlebrand is not enough right now. So I think this turn what we do is... It's still rough. They're not doing anything here. I think that we... Let's see. Play Trickster, they kill a Lord. I don't think it matters. This forces them to do something or they die. Alright, we win. 4-0. Our opponent definitely punted and helped give us that. So here we go. We're going for a 5-0 now. Yikes. Yeah, that Fury, like, definitely swung the game, but we had just enough gas to get over the finish line. They didn't have the combo, it looks like, and then Wasteland kept them from doing anything about it, while our Dinks just managed to sneak underneath Fury, so that's fine with me. Alright, we are 1 match away from getting a trophy here. Let's go. Contra, where are you? This is this is the time. We need your power. No, I feel really good about Merfolk and Legacy at the moment. Like, there are definitely bad matches as we've come across, and like definitely some matches that can swing pretty close. But overall, like, I feel like the deck is fairly well positioned. So I am definitely happy to play this here. It's not like playing Merfolk in Modern, which I find to be a chore right now. I think playing Merfolk and Legacy is actually fun. Like, we're gonna do well with it, and we get to play fishes. Come on, let's go. I don't want to wait 5 minutes. Well, I do have some, like, I've gotten trophies with it before, but I don't play MTGO online very much, and like, out of that time, like, a lot of it is divided amongst a lot of different formats. So if I dedicated myself to just playing only Merfolk and Legacy, I'd probably have a bunch of trophies, but I don't do that because I divide my time and attention across a bunch of different stuff because I know everybody likes different formats, and it's difficult to like really refine a list down when you keep switching between different stuff. Especially with Merfolk, you need to like really tune this deck. The difference with Legacy versus all the other formats is I think that Merfolk is actually good in this format. I have more experience with it, so I tend to do better with it here. But also, I've been playing it in paper. Like, you know, we have like usual monthly Legacy events in my area, and actually, I just won the last one, and so I came away with a nice chunk of change from that. So the answer is I don't trophy frequently, but it's because I don't really focus on playing to try to do so. I play like one league a week, and it's, Legacy is usually like every like maybe second or third one, and it's not usually consistent. Yeah, because I don't usually go back to back for any particular week. But I mean, if people wanted to see that, like, if interest in Legacy is like picking up, then maybe we will see more because if the views are there, then it makes it a lot easier to tailor content towards that. So definitely so people watch me mostly because they want to see Merfolk, and I can tell that because of the views that I get on the different videos. Like if I'm playing anything else, like when I played Burn in Modern, like nobody cares about watching Burn. Like they fucking hate that deck, and I can tell because it doesn't get viewed nearly as much. Same thing with if I'm playing other stuff like Living End or Tron. Like nobody cares about seeing that as much. Like if they're coming to me, they want to see fish. So means and I don't really feel good about Merfolk in Modern at the moment, so I don't really play it a whole lot there. But here, like, I've been trying to give this a little bit more focus because I think there's actually a lot worth exploring with this in this format right now. This hand looks fine. We have Vial into Chalice or Silvergill. They mold a 6, so... This might be a deck where we want to play Chalice and 0, or we might want to Wasteland somebody. They are probably going to give us a hint right now. Flooded Strand. Flooded Strand usually means that we want Chalice on 1. And the Cursecatcher will help us do that. I mean, the chances that this is going to resolve on 1 next turn are now much higher because of this Cursecatcher. Oh, fuck. So this is either Sneak and Show or, like, Delver, probably. Are they going to Prismatic Ending this thing? Okay. This looks like this might be Delver. You know what? There's also a really good argument to just play Cursecatcher and fucking Wasteland their Tundra. Oh, I did that wrong. I definitely should have played Wasteland first because they just fucking burned a Force of Will on this Cursecatcher. Okay, well, now I know that this thing needs to die. Yikes. And they pitched Force of Negation, so, like, if I want to play Chalice, I will just win. Okay, sure. Wow. I don't even know what to think. Maybe this is like the Jeskai deck. That's like Jeskai. I guess I want to call it the control list. They play like Narset and sometimes some Hull Breachers and maybe like 1 or 2 copies of Days Undoing. And then usually it's like Eternal Dragon, I think. Or Timeless. I think it's Timeless Dragon. That's the one. Maybe like 2 Verdicts. Their hand absolutely was just not prepared to live on just basic Mountain, for sure. They got super fucking greedy. They probably had a bunch of like Ponders or something in their hand with no other lands, and they decided, oh, Aether Vial, I'm going to Prismatic Ending the Aether Vial, and I'm going to win this game. And they did not count on Wasteland ruining their entire existence. Against this deck, it's actually difficult to say. I don't think Hearse is actually that important. Like, Chalice is okay, but I don't know if it's that necessary. I think I can afford to bring in, like, 2 more Force of Negation. They do have, like, Teferis here. I do want to counter some of them. I'll try it like this and see how it goes. They do have, I think they usually do play, like, 1 copy of Wandering Emperor and then usually, like, 4 Narsets, so... I'm gonna keep this, I think. Force of Negation is fine. We have a nice curve here. Okay, they're not gonna do anything. They're afraid. I'll probably just play Chalice next turn. Like, that's something they really have to deal with. Yeah, I think they probably do have to deal with this. If they counter this and then follow it up with Teferi, we do have a Force of Negation, so... I guess if they want to use, like, Days on this thing, or Swords, like... No, they might, like, use a Swords or something on this, so I think I'll attack for 1 first and then play Chalice. It is possible Brainstorm might come off here, too. Yeah, there we go. We got our 1 damage in at least. Okay. Well, they're really afraid of fetching for those non-basics now because they saw Wasteland, so... If they go for Teferi, I'm definitely Force of Negating it. And hoping that's enough. Okay, that was good. I'll play the Trickster now while they're tapped out. Oh, they're gonna E for 0 to get rid of this Chalice. That's smart. Okay, well, let's attack. And I think this is a good spot to play True-Name Nemesis. They might have Supreme Verdict, so, but we're offering them 2 cards if they do. Okay, well, they don't have Verdict because they definitely would not have used the Swords to Plowshare if they had it. Oh, that means that True Name is definitely positioned to do a lot of damage. Yeah, definitely Merfolk. Okay, Snapcaster. Sure. Snap Swords is fine. They only have 1 card left, so... Like, the Snapcaster by itself is not really, like, that impressive, because we have True Name out, so... I think I'm going to hold on to the Trickster here. I don't really need to play it right now. Oh, that's good. I can play the Lord. Oops. Let's tap this for blue mana here. Okay, another snap sword, sure. I might consider Trickster this turn. If they attack with the Snapcasters. Is it Staticaster? Ooh, that's rough. Okay. They're gonna play it? Well, if I play the Trickster, they would just play Staticaster here, so that's fine. Okay. Let's play a Cursecatcher. Now here, if they, like, yeah, if they just attack with everything, I can play Trickster and force them to do something or die. Are they verdicting? No, they're playing Jace. Oh, that's got to be good for us. Stupid Jace buttface. I guess if we draw a Lord, that means we, like, well, okay, now we're not guaranteed to win. I don't know, it's close. Oh, they are in trouble. Come on, attack with the Snapcasters. Alright, I think I do need to play it. There's just, it opens up too many lines of victory here. Drawing another Trickster is a win. You know what? They all have to attack him. Alright, he goes to 1. I don't think there's value in playing this Cursecatcher right now. They are either going to find an answer to True-Name or they are going to die right here, so they get to brainstorm and then pray, basically. Because if they don't find, like, Verdict here, or I guess Dress Down would technically work. Well, maybe if they have Dress Down and removal, that could work. Okay. Mystic Sanctuary, I don't think that it helps you to put that on top here. Unless you're just digging. No, they're going to dig, okay. They're going to brainstorm. They are looking really hard for this Verdict. Because if they don't find it, they die, so. Okay, they left up the mana for it, so this is it. You have to find it now. They don't find it, and we get the 5-0, people. Just like that. Never did we not have it. Alright, look at our beautiful list here. Absolutely just nut-crushing everybody today. So, yeah. Well, we saw Unlicensed Hearse actually did get in 4 damage, and it actually somehow won us the game, even though it shouldn't have. So, but I mean, there are still, like, a lot of decks where, like, if we're up against Uro, this is going to be very important. I mean, it is nice to have main deck stuff against Knight of the Reliquary and stuff like that too, or in like Life from the Loam. You can really undermine that. So I do think that I'm going to continue to play with the hearses, but I mean, Cursecatcher also, like, seemed like this was fine. It was contributing to our plan. Also, we used it to counter a Brainstorm, which I think was really important at one point, because they definitely could have changed the game at that route. So I like this. Overall, I think this was really strong. Yeah, we saw Otawara. This card was definitely relevant because it gave us the ability to bounce stuff if we needed it. So we were up against bridge deck, so having main deck bounce in our lands actually helped a lot. But really, like, everybody knows the savior of this league is fucking Wasteland here. Wasteland blew up so many lands and, like, locked out so many people. Yeah, it's so great. absolutely fire. Pure octane. So, there we go. How many trophies do I have? Well, there we go. That's one, so. Excellent. Fish still got it, haters. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Fantastic. Look, I play this deck, like, religiously. Alright? And I play Paper Legacy a lot, and that is why, like, I went out of my way. Hold on, where are they? Here, I'll pull them out here so you can see it. Everybody, I just want you to understand, like, this is what I would like to do with my time. Where's the other one? Telling me I didn't find True-Name in this entire, like, first half of this stack here. Oh, here we go. You see this? Look, my shiny fishies. I've been playing this deck for a really, really long time. I love Legacy, alright? I absolutely love playing with all of these cards, and I play it online, and I play it in paper, and I am an absolute expert with this. I would like to think so, at least, so. One of the few people left in the world that's actually trying to, like, you know, keep the reps up for the fish. This deck is not dead by any means. It's actually, this is like, it went through a long period where it was not actually that great, but I don't know. I've been playing it for like at least a decade in Legacy now, and it's absolutely a fantastic deck. I absolutely enjoy playing it every time. And unlike Modern, Legacy has stuff like Force of Will in Wasteland that keeps all of this nonsense in check. So here, like, this card and this card do a lot of heavy lifting to police the nonsense. That's why stuff like the, you know, the artifact aggro decks or like the 8-cast deck and, like, you know, that stuff, they play like so many non-basics where if you blow up like Ancient Tomb, they just die. Like, you, so yeah, it's absolutely, like, this is so important. I would love for Modern to get like a version of this where you have to pay like 1 to activate it. And I definitely want both True-Name and Force to come to Modern. I think, like, this would be a great addition to the format to counteract like some of the elementals and nonsense of that sort. And I just think like True-Name could be a boost for Merfolk, and it's not like it's going to destroy the format. Like, there are a lot of ways to deal with True-Name Nemesis. So stuff like Dress Down is a main deck card that people play that can deal with it. Supreme Verdict blows it up. Engineered Explosives blows it up. Plague Engineer can get rid of it. Like, there are so many options to deal with this thing that they're not, I'm not suggesting like fringe nonsense like Golgari Charm or anything. I'm saying, like, yeah, True-Name Nemesis, very, you can deal with this card if you want to deal with this card. And, like, if you can't handle a 3-1 that's beating you down over the course of 7 turns, then you probably don't deserve to win that game in the first place. So, I don't know. Anyway, I'm very high in this list. Like, this shell I have been playing for the past few months now, and I absolutely do think that Mutavault needs, yeah, just don't fall into the trap of Muta. Wasteland is your savior right now, and you need to lean very hard on it. We want to go very hard on the mana denial plan, so stuff like Tideshaper and Cursecatcher are going to work really well with this here. Chalice of the Void's going to work really well with it, and same thing with like Null Rods. These will work well because they turn off all of the artifact mana, so very happy about this. Okay, well, we got to go find somebody. You know what? What's Dylan doing? Okay, let's go visit Dylan. I like Dylan.
A dream is the spark of greatness, but it's nothing without drive. Introducing
everybody, thank you for being here. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I absolutely would appreciate that. So, that's all I've got for now. I will see you guys again next week. Take it easy, everybody.